we had a good session this past session, and I think that will provide a great baseline of where to begin our work this coming year.
MDOT presents the Extra Mile Podcast, Legislative Session.
Got to have the ability to get that product to market.
As long as you're performing, we want to be behind you pushing.
Welcome into another edition of the Extra Mile Podcast Legislative Session presented by the Mississippi Department of Transportation. I'm MDOT Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Paul Catul, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Will Kraft. He handles government and constituent affairs here at the agency. And today, just a note, we're recording on January 24th. Things move very quickly during the session, so just wanted to give you a heads up on that. We are getting close to that first month of the session. Yeah. Kind of crazy. Today, we are very excited to have a new guest in studio with us today. This is State Representative Chris Bell, and he first took office in 2016 and represents District 65, which is Hinds County. Hey, that's me. You're my state representative.
Oh, there you go.
So great,
Man,
good stuff. Representative Bell, thank you for making time for us during this busy time of the year.
No, thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, man, yeah, we
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
For sure. So let's just get right into it. We mentioned you're a new guest on the podcast. So tell us a little bit about yourself, why you decided to run for and become an elected official.
Well, to be honest, I think I went out with some friends one night, and we had a lot to eat. And I woke up the next morning, and I wrote my name on the list to run. But no, seriously.
Best answer.
Yeah. I ran to make a difference in my community and the state. Sure. I love Mississippi. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Been here long enough, a graduate of Jackson State University. Had opportunities to leave the state several times. And I just want to be here and to be able to make a difference. It's very important that we have individuals to step up and run for office and be a part of the community, whether it be an advocate with a nonprofit or public official or just any individual just wants to make a difference. We got to uplift our community, and that's why I ran.
That's a great answer.
Absolutely. Well, tell me, how did you get down here from Chicago?
We came for a family reunion, and I made the statement, hey, we should move to Mississippi. And 2 years later, we were like, hey, we're in Mississippi.
How old were you then?
12.
Oh, wow.
13,
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're a full-on resident of Mississippi.
Yeah.
You may have been born in Chicago.
Yeah, and
we
I'm
got
like,
you.
That was the worst decision of my mind. You know, I'm a Bears fan, so
okay.
I'm all things Chicago. And, you know, I don't get to see the Bears as often as I like on TV. I get the Saints, so I don't want to offend my Saints fans and constituents, but, you know, I love my Bears. So
it's fair.
Absolutely.
It's very fair. Well, we're certainly glad you're here, man. We're glad to have you in the state and working hard, especially all the good things you just said. We love folks being plugged in. That's right. Not just elected officials. If you're just out there, plug in. Right. But we are talking about the legislative session. Like Paul mentioned, we're wide open and we're getting going. Representative, you're on several committees, Executive Contingent Fund, you're the Vice Chair of Banking and Financial Services, Energy, Insurance, Public Health and Human Services, and Tourism. Do you have any free time?
No.
Yeah, wide open.
Yeah, I serve on a lot of committees. And honestly, out of the committees I serve on, maybe one that we haven't met.
Sure.
But for the most part, yeah, we are busy, and we do have a lot of committee meetings and hearings and things of that nature.
I bet Energy, wide open right
Yes,
now. You guys got a
yes.
lot of stuff going on in there, I'm sure.
A lot in energy, especially in insurance.
Insurance, yeah. I was the George Dale, former, was on Super Talk this morning. I heard talking about old insurance stuff, and stories. I'm sure you remember Mr. Dale.
Yes, I do. I used to go to the gym with him at the YMCA when it was open.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to George Dale
Right
there. Well, what are some maybe some of the more important measures that you guys have going through right now?
Well, right now we have a lot.
Sure.
We have a lot, especially pertaining to the city of Jackson. More so things that are helping the city, so to speak.
Sure.
You know that we've had $800 million towards our water treatment plant and things of that nature. And we're thankful from the feds for doing that for us. We also have a lot of construction going on around Hinds County. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on today. And we have a lot of, I hate to say it, we have a lot of takeover bills for the city of Jackson as well.
I've seen some of those, popping
and
up.
that's unfortunate.
Truly, yeah.
Yeah.
And whatever the answers may be for Jackson, I do not have them. But I'm glad to know there are folks like you plugged in over there working. What about tourism? Got some big projects going on in tourism right now?
Well, there is a concerted effort to provide a lot of tourism dollars to our city through the convention center. Visit Jackson, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Marty Stewart, you saw
yeah.
that, so that's been a big deal. They just did a celebration for him last week. Hopefully we'll have some more dollars coming in this year to give away to some other communities like Meridian, Tupelo, Hattiesburg, places like that.
Yeah, I love to flow that money to Hattiesburg, to the
Yes.
top. That's
Excellent.
right.
Oh, boy.
Lots of good things going on in
USM fan.
Mississippi.
Yep, absolutely.
So let's talk some legislation that's pretty important to you. I know that MDOT is not just roads and bridges, public transit, things like that. So isn't public transit kind of important to you? You have a bill kind of going through?
Yeah, hopefully. The chairman made a commitment that he would bring my legislation out, so hopefully it'll pass off the floor. It's about a transit rail, light rail, coming from the airport to downtown Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And it's a start. And the purpose of me introducing that legislation, every major city that you go in, they have some type of major transportation coming from the airport to their downtown. In order for us to upgrade our community, our downtown, have more people to come visit the city of Jackson and the state of Mississippi, we need to provide them with transportation. I don't know if you've been to the airport in Jackson and tried to get an Uber late at night or take a cab back or what have you. It's pretty much non-existent. And this piece of legislation would build on the economy for the city of Jackson, because once you start introducing light rail and having rail, you have to have employees, you have to buy cars, they have to make the cars. So there's an opportunity to stimulate the economy that way as well.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I have actually not been able to ride a train thus far in my life. It is on the bucket list.
You should.
Should do it.
You should, especially the city of New Orleans.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to check that out.
That's
You
fun. Overnight, it'll
Yeah.
get you there.
Okay. And I'm sure, like you just mentioned, that transit aspect. Is it specifically for airport to downtown?
That's the initial,
Okay.
but to move forward, move it out to Madison towards Canton,
Sure, yeah.
as well as to Continental Tire in Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
There was a research, and I don't want to mispronounce the name. I think it's E pluribus unum. Did a research study, and in Mississippi, the number one reason why people can't get to work is transportation. And I think it was like 85%.
Wow.
So it's very important for this piece of legislation to pass. When you have Continental Tire and Canton, Nissan saying that, we can't find employees to come to work, and the struggle is that these employees may not have transportation, this will provide a way for those individuals to get to work. And it also takes the strain off our roads and bridges as well, because you won't have that many vehicles on the highway, hopefully.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
Very true. Question for you. I know you're dealing with the Republican supermajority over there. Is it easy to get stuff done? Is there a good working relationship across the aisles?
I'm going to be very honest with you. It is a good working relationship.
Good.
A lot of people think that we hate each other and, we don't speak to each other. That's not true.
Sure.
I think, honestly, about 85% of us get along. Of course, you're going to have a few that you don't get along with or you have an issue with for whatever reason. But for the most part, especially in the House, we all get along. We were sent there to represent our districts and our communities, and we're going to fight, and we don't take it personal. And that's the way I do it. And I let them know ahead of time, look, hey, I'm going to have to get in your butt on this one. But at the end of the day, we're still friends.
That's right. It comes to that. Y'all are handling important business, important work over there. Sometimes tensions can get high.
Right.
Things happen.
That's very refreshing. So just back up a little bit and kind of want to go general. Of course, this is an MDOT podcast. So can you kind of tell us in your own words why, tell us about the importance of having a strong, efficient transportation network in the state?
Oh, look, you can't, look, the first thing people look for when they bring businesses to your state or your city is education and roads. How's the school district and how's the transportation? You look on the map here and you see all the things that are going on throughout the state. How many of those companies came in and said, hey, we will come here but this road needs to be fixed. Or you have a great road, you have a great bridge system. They come here. It's efficient. It's essential, I should say. It's essential to the growth of the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, it is. And that's something we continue to talk about. You know, that again, infrastructure. It is more than highways and bridges. The transit aspect that you mentioned, ports and rails, the airports that we've talked about. You know, it is. It all contributes and makes everything work together. Switching gears just a hair here, getting to the fun stuff, the real good details here. We like to eat as a state. I think I mentioned last time, as a podcast, we like to eat. We have a good time eating. Is there any new spots out there that you've gotten the pleasure of trying lately? Or maybe if you're driving around, is there a favorite spot that you only get to go to every now and then?
So
What you got?
So I know I'm gonna have a lot of friends that watch this podcast and listen
We
to
hope
it.
so.
Yeah, I know I will. I'm positive of it. So they know my number one spot is always Char.
Okay.
That's my favorite go-to restaurant. I've never been disappointed.
Nope.
Elvies.
That's Paul's go-to.
That's my favorite. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I haven't got to try Elvis yet.
yeah, you should. So and of course, Bully's restaurant. Look, I stimulate the economy. So
That's right.
I visit restaurants.
I haven't been to Bully's either. Is that around here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of right outside downtown.
Yeah,
That's
Livingston Road.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're
you
gonna
should
make
try
our way.
it. Soul
It's
food
delicious.
place.
We got the laundry list. I mentioned on maybe an episode or maybe just in conversation, Stamps Burgers is one that I continue to hear about, but I have not yet been able to go. And I think I saw them on the national news here recently.
So guess what? This is what we'll do.
All right,
I'll take you to Stamps
let's go.
and bring an appetite.
Okay.
It's not a sit-in place. You gotta get it and go. So,
Okay. I've heard that you got to know what you're wanting to order before you get up there,
Yeah,
or they'll fuss at you.
they will. That's the glory of it.
There you go.
This makes it so appealing to me. I can't wait.
That's right.
It's fun stuff. So we've covered a lot of ground today, but is there any message that we haven't talked about that you kind of want to get out there to your constituents?
Well, I guess one thing I would say is just be patient with us with respect to infrastructure needs with the city of Jackson, especially our water. Ted Hennepin is working his butt off trying to make sure that we get everything in place. He's the third-party administrator running everything now. Just have faith in us. We are definitely coming together to make sure that the city of Jackson has clean drinking water. And I know this is MDOT, but we don't have to tear up the roads in order to fix some of these pipes. But just bear with us. We're definitely making strides.
I am in no way, shape, or form envious of those in those positions. The challenge at hand is seemingly insurmountable. So, hey, all the best and Godspeed. Again, glad there are smarter folks than me and folks like you out there working on those problems. Kind of wrap it up here. Contact for you. Do you have I'm sure, like a Facebook or something page?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. It's Representative Chris Bell. Chris Bell on Facebook. Twitter is Mississippi Rep. Chris Bell, and email is cbell@house.ms.gov.
Got the email out there too. And folks out there listening, again, as we've mentioned, it is the middle of the session. They're wide open, fast and furious. If you shoot them a message somewhere, give them some time. It might take a little while. I bet you get 3,000 emails a day. But,
Yes.
the folks
Yes.
are working hard. Drop them a heads up and a thumbs up and keep up the good work. So
I appreciate that.
again, we appreciate you being on with us, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Before we get out of here, I do want to, we're talking about restaurants and small businesses. Want to send a shout out to Fawnerd Fitness. Without
no doubt.
Fawnerd Fitness, this podcast wouldn't have happened. Early in the morning, I think a Saturday morning, I went up and bothered Representative Bell and asked him if he'd want to come on the show.
No,
So
you didn't bother me. No, you look. It's funny. Paul was in the gym working out, and I try to speak to him. And he's like focused. I'm like, look at here.
I believe it. He's
there we
locked
go.
in.
We're always locked in.
Yeah.
That's how we do it at MDOT. Representative Bell, again, it's a busy time of the year. Thank you so much for coming in and speaking with us
Thank
today.
you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll just wrap things up. Thank you to our listeners out there for tuning into the Extra Mile podcast. Remember, you can watch and listen to episodes by visiting gomdot.com/the extra mile. Remember to follow us on social media at Mississippi DOT on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. We want to thank our producer, Katie Hornsby, our editor, Drew Hall. They do a lot of work behind the scenes for us. We'll just wrap things right there. Remember to drive smart out there on Mississippi highways.